Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Perfect. We are about to begin. As always, just a few minutes so people can join, watch any ads if there are any, and then we are going back into Phoenix Wright. We left on a big cliffhanger, so it's gonna be really nice. I've been itching to pick it back up. I think probably I'm the one that it's been looking forward to the most, because man, that cliffhanger was really something. I was not expecting it at all. And I gotta say, the game has not failed to impress me. Sometimes things are fairly obvious, but man, this time around it was just really unexpected. I mean, you could have expected it because Emma ran away suddenly, so you could have imagined that she would be back, but I don't know. It still caught me by surprise a little bit when she came back. So now we are picking back up with Emma on the stand making an objection, a scientific objection to be precise. But man, oh man, there is a lot of stuff to talk about. Also, we got Lunatic Gregorius this week, and I'm very torn about Lunatic difficulty. It's a pretty complicated topic, to be honest, because on one hand, I feel like a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, right now, it's achieving maybe what was the original intention of each raid, but I'm still a little bit torn about it. So, for example, since we have Gregorius right now, Gregorius, in my opinion, was meant to be Gebura 1, in a way. It was meant to be a raid where specials were the focus point of the raid. Because if you see, all the character releases previous to Gregorius were oriented to giving more power to the specials and having the strikers being the supporters. Swimsuitsaki had extra attack for the specials, all the debuffs could come from the strikers. We got Minori, which is a heavy hitter. We got everything setting up to Gregorius to be Gebura style. But with the introduction of the Hina, special strategies fell off in Gregorius, and then to prevent that, I feel like they added that passive to Gebura to prevent that raid to be again in hands of Hina. And Lunatic Gregorius works in a way in such Hina cannot dominate, and we actually need our specials again. So I feel like we went back to the original intention of Gregorius. So in that sense, I'm satisfied. Also, you see Kurokage, same thing. The mechanics of Kurokage got more important in Lunatic. We are less able to rush it, and therefore characters like Casual Senna and others could actually take an important role in. Same for Wakama Boat. Characters, we got an additional tank for it, we got more characters that could apply weak point, we got more characters that were designed for it, and because of the extra stats of the bosses, we are forced to interact with the mechanics more. So in that sense, Lunatic is achieving the purpose of putting the mechanics on the forefront of the raid, but I still feel like just pumping up the stats is not necessarily the best way to go about it, because it will create more power creep. Torment Gregorius is more comfy with the Rabbit and Minori team. Yes, I agree. The Dihina strategy was desperate for score. Yeah. I agree with that. The Hina strategy in Gregorius in general I don't like, not even for insane difficulty. I don't like it. It's very fragile. I just don't like it. I also feel like you engage with the right less. You're doing less of the actual encounter when you do that kind of strategy. But it's undeniable that is sadly the best strategy under Lunatic. And that's why top scores are from that strategy. So yeah, Lunatic in a way is achieving that. Also, Lunatic, even though if it's a stats pump, it's not only a stats pump, they are also modifying the raid in a way in which that stat pump comes together with some other changes. For example, in Lunatic Gregorius, we deal more damage through specials, we have guaranteed critical. There is a lot of stuff that is changing on the background of the raid. Maybe it's not visible because the mechanics have not changed, but it's still making the raid a little bit more interesting, and that's cool. I like it. But I wish they did something a little bit more special for Lunatic. I don't know. So I'm a little bit torn, as I said, because more stats mean more power creep in the future. We are going to be getting stronger and stronger and stronger characters, stronger and stronger and stronger equipment. I feel like it's the more stats they pump into the game, the more power creep will settle in, and I don't like that, but yeah. The organ got a big change, and yellow aura. Yes. That's true. That's true. That's why Gregorius, in my opinion, right now, it's probably the best iteration of Lunatic. Hello, Parwa. How you doing? How you doing? We're about to get ready to pick up Tanto auguri di buon compleanno. Man, thank you very much. We're celebrating it tomorrow because my birthday is officially on the 5th, but obviously I'm not streaming on Monday, so we are going to celebrate it tomorrow. But that's the normal cycle of this kind of games now, bigger numbers. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. And that's a problem, I think, that the fact that gacha games tend to go in that direction is one of the problems that gacha games have. Because once you start going into the power creep direction, it becomes harder and harder to get the audience excited about it. I will say tomorrow too. Nice. I appreciate it. So yeah, power creep is a very double-edged sword, because every time you will need to do bigger and bigger and bigger stuff, and that kills the excitement, because you will get a character and the first thing you will think about it is, okay, cool, this character will be the best for 6 months, then I will get an upgrade on it. So that's why power creep is very dangerous. I feel like horizontal progression is a lot healthier. Have you played World of Warcraft? Yeah, I have not played it, but I know the excessive vertical progression of WoW, it's a big issue, because every update makes previous equipment obsolete. Hello, Aru, how you doing? How you doing? We are discussing a little bit of Lunatic difficulty before we get back into Phoenix Wright. I'm saying that I'm a little bit torn on it, because on one hand, it's achieving what I think was the intention of the original raids. It's forcing players to actually interact with the mechanics and make the teams around the mechanics, and you cannot just brute force it with the Hina, for example. But at the same time, stat pumping, if it's not accompanied with mechanical changes and other more interesting stuff, it will only lead to more power creep, and I don't like that. I think it's dangerous for the longevity of games. Yes, Gregorius Lunatic went down. As far as I remember, and I could be wrong on this, but as of day 2, there have been less clears of Gregorius than there were for Wakamo. And I was expecting that because, in my opinion, Gregorius is a harder raid. But I expect that by the end of Gregorius, we will get around the same 500 to 600 clears. If I recall correctly, and again, I could be wrong on this, Wakamo Boat, by the end of it, had 564 lunatic clears. I'm expecting Gregorius to be around the same ballpark. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but I do not expect Gregorius to reach 1,000 clears. Needs lots of investment on the special units. Yes, that's also true. But I'm happy about it because I was saying before, I think Gregorius was intended to be Gebura 1 in a way. If you see everything that was released previous to the initial release of Gregorius was aimed to make it a special centric raid in terms of DPS. We got Minori, we got all the strikers that were more like a support core for that. We had Saki with her buff on the special, on the sub skill for the specials, all the debuffs we could get from the strikers. It seemed to be like they wanted Gregorius to be like Gebura, and I think that Gebura has the passive it has because they wanted to prevent it to become like Gregorius, so people just brute forcing it with Dihina. And the changes they did for Lunatic in Gregorius actually make Gregorius like it was intended to be from the beginning. And I'm happy about that. I'm just a little bit concerned about the stat pumping. That's my biggest concern. But overall, I would lie if I said that I'm not happy about it. I think it's good that we are getting stuff as it was intended to be. But right now, for example, I feel like I'm very far from actually being able to do it because the amount of investment you need to actually do Gregorius Lunatic, it's very hard, and you need very well built specials. Survivability, it's really hard. Already in Torment, surviving with 3-star characters is complicated. In Lunatic, it's not viable. I think if you plan to try Lunatic, you need to have at least UE30 characters. It's very hard to survive on Gregorius. There is a lot of damage that you cannot control. There is a lot of stuff that you cannot even fix with deployment. So yeah, I feel like Gregorius, it's very high investment right now, especially on Lunatic. Is a very high investment rate. But with that said, let's pick back up from where we finished. And obviously, we can still talk about Blue Archive, but I will start reading on Phoenix Wright, so we go forward. And obviously, we'll keep an eye on you guys, so we can chat about anything. But I'll just progress with Phoenix Wright because this game has been going for way too long now, and I think it's time we move on from it. But I've been told that we're still a little bit under halfway on this case, so let's try to speed it up. The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? PW Weekend? Yes. Your Honor, in a sense, please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Edgeworth is acting like Karma. He's acting like Von Karma. I was kind of in a shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood from Detective Gumshoe Sloker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured I examined it scientifically. I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over and looked at it again. Ooh. So did you find something? No. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Sherlock, I hope you complete your promise for Monday. Okay. So, I have Hibiki on both accounts at 38 bond. I planned to get them to 40, but there is a small issue. I literally have no way to get more gifts for them. Both of my accounts are so drained of resources that I cannot even afford to craft stuff, because I've been building characters on both accounts and I have like 100k credits on each. I'm completely broke. On JP, the Ratbrats literally broke my account, and on Global, I just finished building up the idols, and no, I have not. I still need to build Mine, and I still need to save for Rio and Neru. So I'm in a very bad spot. I hope that between a schedule and other stuff, I can get them to 39 today, and maybe I can fix it. Hey Mika, how you doing? How you doing? We just picked up again with Phoenix Wright. I'm doing, I will say fine. This week has been difficult to say the least. Things are not the greatest, but I'm alive and that matters. So yeah, as long as I'm healthy, there is always another chance. But I don't want you guys to... I don't want to burden you with my issues. So yeah, honestly speaking, I'm kind of tired of this game. Man, I was just saying, this game has been going on for so long. So yeah, it's time to speed it up. I also was thinking, maybe tomorrow we don't do Phoenix Wright. We do every other week Phoenix Wright, and we begin a new game. Because this game is going on for so long now. So maybe just adding another game in between could actually work. So we could start Code Vein tomorrow. I was thinking about that. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. Finally new game. Yeah, I've been also itching to play Code Vein. I have it installed and everything, but I'm not going to lie. Phoenix Wright's story has been really good. I'm very hooked into it, but for the stream, I think it has been going for way too long, and adding some variety could be good, because I'm supposed to be doing variety gaming. I'm here to see you struggle at Gregorius Lunatic. That's not going to happen, mate. I cannot even get to Lunatic because I have not cleared Torment yet. I've been so busy this week, and this week has been awful, that I have not been able to do Torment. And I don't know if I will even do Torment, because it takes time. It takes so much time. I didn't find any clears on YouTube. I mean, there are very few clears in general right now, so I'm not surprised. But from what I've seen, probably by Monday there should be some. But right now it's very hard, because I don't think people is even clearing it consistently, and if they are, it's a struggle. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood, they are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please Mr. Wright, you're a professional. Hello Black Lockhart, how you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing great. We just picked the game back up. You haven't missed much. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. It's time's up now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. And is there a problem with this? I was talking with two guys from the USA who came here, so I'm late. Oh, it's fine, don't worry. You're barely late anyways. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it is now. Okay, let's think about this. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe locker? I mean, there is still something that is bugging me a little bit. We still do not know who this is, 77777. We still don't know anything about this one. So this one could be part of the problem. That's one thing that's bothering me. The other part that is bothering me is that it has no fingerprints, but that's because of the gloves the killer was wearing. We know it is not this glove specifically, this one was in the locker room. And we know that they are saying that Lana didn't leave any fingerprints on the knife because she was wearing gloves, so using the gloves could be a connection to Lana again, so that could fire back to us. But the thing that is keeping me more bothered right now, it's this one, the 7777. We don't know who that is. Could there be something I'm missing? I object, obviously. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is that you are grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been run under? Yes, something that when run will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Ooh. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. There's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can... This is like the only big thing. I'm guessing this one is so big that you could consider it like it's walling, I guess? Because all the other stuff doesn't make any sense. None of this was in the evidence room. None of this was in the evidence room. None of this has anything to do with the floor plan. I'm guessing it's the blue badger. It's the only thing that makes sense. So I'm presenting this one. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force. The defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Oh man, I nailed it. Please look at the floor plans. of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. Ooh. So that means just exactly what does that mean? It means it can be done. What are you saying? Blood tracers were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me like I didn't put them in there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma? On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left before the blue badger was brought in. This upcoming week I'm gonna get the results of my interview. Oh man, wish you the best of lucks. I really hope you get it, man. Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department, the evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins caught his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown down on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you to show evidence that proves when it occurred. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being caught by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense present this evidence? And this is that. It has to be this one, because it's the only thing. Hello Alvin, how you doing? How you doing? I saw your submission for the event. By the way, guys, since it seems that we have received every submission right for the cooking event, unless anyone else wants to send a submission and you need another week, we could actually do the event tomorrow as it was originally scheduled. So if anyone has a submission to put for the event and needs a little bit more time, let me know either now on the stream or in the Discord, and I'll give you the extra week. But if no one else needs the time, we can do it tomorrow as it was originally scheduled. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Tomorrow, Sherlock birthday. Yes, tomorrow, guys, we're celebrating my birthday. So don't miss it. I want to see as many of you as I can here tomorrow. I hope you guys can be here. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40. Miles Edgeworth, what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand it either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, the second crime took place. Both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Ooh. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There is only one other card number remaining, 77777. Is this a meme? I'm pretty sure that 777 is a meme, isn't it? There was a mom in the interview, and when she was talking about her son, she started crying. Man. I understand it though. No. Oh, okay, I see. Batman. That's a very weave meme. Very weave. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there is no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777. Ooh, please, Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777. Okay. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such person identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? Is her son an onion? It's understandable why she was crying. I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge is filed against an executive officer is accepted. An official charge. She got emotional. I can understand it though, it's very understandable. Your You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor offices operate. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not you. To her, defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Now that I think of it, Lana has not talked much, if at all. I don't think we have ever seen her talk in court besides day one when we examined her testimony. Don't be stupid, she's been charged with murder. Of course we looked her up. Her ID number is not 77777. Next week, food review. Not many people made dishes. It's fine. We got 4 dishes for the stream, which is fine. We could do it tomorrow if there are no further submissions and no one asks for more time. So we could do it tomorrow. And we can also start tomorrow with Code Vein. So we alternate between Phoenix Wright and Code Vein because Phoenix Wright has been going for so long that alternating could be a good thing right now. I think we need a little bit of variety. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. Sadly, it's pretty cool event. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm very proud. I'm very happy that everyone that submitted a dish did and put so much effort into it. Guys, I have no prizes to offer. This was just a fun event that I wanted to do to get to know a little bit more of your culture and the stuff that you eat in your countries, and that just share a little bit of that with the stream. But just the fact that there was people that care enough to even cook something or go up to a place and order the dish and take the pictures and describe it, that already means a lot to me. So yeah, even if we have little submissions, I'm very happy and proud of what you guys submitted. It is very endearing. The prize is the ASMR. I mean, I appreciate the feeling. All I want to know is one thing about that incident, the SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? Oh man. I really like the BCJ spy. Man, I cannot wait to see the recipes you guys submitted, because Asumaki and BJC submitted very in-depth recipes with all the pictures of the preparation and everything. I cannot wait to see that. It looks so cool. I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally we felt powerless. The powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Ooh, defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence, quote unquote, see, that's what I'm talking about. No. Order. Damn. Yeah, I can't believe there was chaos. Home bakery is always mysterious things for the SEA bros like me. That, oh my god, I was not expecting Lana to say that. I was really expecting her to dodge the question, because Lana has been so vague the whole time. I cannot deny that I'm quite shocked by that. That was quite a turn of events. Why would they give the an option to not save the file? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Saving is very good. Or maybe because you could accidentally overwrite a save. Lana is a strong woman. She knows how to handle the situation. Yeah. On one hand, I think she actually did it to get another day. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Phoenix Wright & Co. law offices. To help speedrunners, kinda. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get a verdict he deserved. Man, I didn't know. I never knew that SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me? That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night of Prosecutor Neil Marshall's murder, Joe Dark tried to kill me. He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. Man, I genuinely got goosebumps from this. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It was 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. This reminds me so much of the Mia murder. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came, bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Then Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Now the case is starting. Man, it's quite a story, not gonna lie. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Now apologize for all the Emma hate. Dude, I don't hate Emma. But yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. Sherlock only hates Kaede? Okay, I don't hate Kaede. As I said, there is no Blue Archive character I really hate. I actually like all the characters in Blue Archive. Or at least I'm indifferent, but I don't think there is any character in Blue Archive that I genuinely dislike. All characters are pretty good. There is no character that is truly unlikable. Even Serika, who is very annoying at times, I don't hate her. Kaede hate is insane. You could say she's my least favorite character, but not hate, to be honest. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up what she did, especially not to Emma. Permanent picture. But she's cute and funny, she has big stuff. You see, I think my issue with Kaede is that she's just not an interesting character to me. I don't find any. It's like Nodoka. If you ask me who do you prefer, Nodoka or Kaede, for me they are on the same level. I'm very indifferent to Nodoka, Kaede. There are many characters that I'm just indifferent to. I don't find them interesting, but that doesn't mean I hate them. It's just I don't find them interesting. And I think that's reasonable, guys. Not everything is about love or hate. What did you see in the instant of that crime? Kaede didn't have much screen time. It's easier to forget than hate. Yeah. Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. She was 14 when she saw that. Let's be clear. Emma is 16 now, so 2 years ago she was 14 when she saw a man being brutally stabbed right in front of her. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. Apologies for all the Emma hate. Dude, come on, what Emma hate? Joking around and saying I prefer Maya is not hate, come on. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14, that's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. Oh man, that's good character building. That's really good character building. I appreciate how they develop this story so well. At the beginning, she's just a bumbling teen trying to be playing scientist, but man, the character development is really good. Not gonna lie, especially because it's such a self-contained story. They did a really good job with this. Every case in Phoenix Wright has been very satisfying in that way, because they only have so much time to develop every character and characterize them well, and I think they made it really good. I think they did a really good job characterizing characters, for as weird as that may sound. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there is still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There is something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Then why would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. There's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning, you mean by the police? Of course, this happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana, was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. That's new to me, I agree. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I'd better have another talk with her. Oh my god. Well, we know where to go now. February 24th, detention center, visitor's room. Lana? Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Gorgeous? Yeah. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Yeah, back then, at least, one said, no, Maya, bring back, no, Maya, bring back May, but at the end, we absolutely love, I think you mean Emma. But in the end, we absolutely love Emma. Yeah, Emma has slowly but surely grown on me, and yeah, the character development has been really good. She won me over. And okay, Lana, Emma told me about you. Maya won it. She won our love. Yeah, true. Also, yeah, Maya also had great character development. At the beginning, Maya was just a childish character that was playing detective and having fun, but also as the game progressed through the first 4 cases, she became a little bit more mature. She tried to provide more insight. She also started to understand the responsibility she had and how her lack of training became a burden, and that was a lot of character development too. That was really well done too. Emma told me about you. Oh, about how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual case, change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Okay, here we go. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Mrs. Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I ever seen Lana look so phased before. Yeah. Detective Lana Sky. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. Oof. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Damn. She had a lot of style when she was a detective. Also, Gant is a cool character. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of the police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filled. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor, what happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating the crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of the police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Dark investigation. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command, that means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. First one at the scene. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have been suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down. Then he fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office chaired by Deputy Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filling some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed that Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right, quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There is no way everyone involved in this trial was involved in that incident. Just by chance. That case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at Chief's office, the SL9 the site of the final SL9 murder. Okay, so obviously we need to move. I'm not wasting time showing her stuff or anything because we need to move forward, so I'm taking the clues they are giving me. Time to go to Affairs, February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things have seemed kinda quiet around here today. You're right, the chief of detectives seems the same though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back later here. I'm not convinced though. Let me talk to this guy. That man must be the chief of detectives. He's staring at the screen. What dark case may have been fabricated? That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now there's a guy who cares about his work. Okay, let's move to the only place we can move. That makes sense. February 24th, Police Department entrance. Howdy Bambina. That photo? What photo? At the back of the man? I'll have to go back into that office to see it. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. ¿Qué será, qué será? You never know where lives lead you. Bambina. I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Where life will lead you? Sherlock, are you going to try Uma Musume when it come out? I played the Japanese version for some time, but I didn't find it very interesting. I don't know the characters, and the game itself was kind of meh. But if you guys are interested, I could give it a try. Just over the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was this one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us about exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Anime made into games do not come out good normally. That's true. Many of the gacha games that come from animes are usually meh. Exceptions being Dragon Ball and Naruto. I don't know. Dark Trial. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either, all detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon, you mean? The switchblade with the broken tip? That's right. That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. Scars that SL9 incident left behind. The scars that... Okay, you know what I mean. Prosecutor Marshall. We do have... wait. If community interested in Love and Deep Space? No. Do we have a direction now? You mean for the case? Not really. It's still very confusing. What I know What? No? Okay. So, what I... Yeah, for the case. Yeah, not really. But what my intuition is telling me... Your reaction about it must be gold? Hell no. Yeah, no chance in hell that I'll try Love and Deep Space for what? Like, no chance in hell. I'm not the target audience for that. That's all I'm gonna say. It feels like we have been jumping here and there with no real direction. Kinda, yeah. Oh, hello, Asumaki. No, wait, you have been here for a while. Hello, Bodoka. That's a new name. How you doing, Bodoka? Why are you trying to make Sherlock play Kusuge? Yeah, I agree. But don't worry, Bodoka, there is no chance in hell that will happen. I'm willing to try a lot of stuff, but I'm also very... I have no hard time saying no, so don't worry. Kusuge means shit games. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor. Allow me to explain. Kuso equals shit. Ge is shortened version of gemu, which in Japanese is a way to say game. So kusoge equals shit game. King of prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mika Wing is Mikan. It's Mikan, just switch usernames. Marshall must have been really... Mr. Marshall must have been really close with his brother. The day of the SL9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as... That's right, it was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered and the evidence locker was empty. Scars. There was something going on behind the scenes. In that case, we all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Mr. Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would have been suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be obvious. They? What are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant and Skye. They had an affair, you see. They were doing something in that office that was not only investigating. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. Stop, Sherlock, don't worry. I was not planning to go on with that. Lan is mine. After the case ended, Lana was transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Oh, to live in delusions. Well, to each their own, mate, to each their own. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? Is there a canon where Lana and May meet? I don't know. It was certainly enlightening. I mean, they knew each other. From what we know through the early conversations of this case, they knew each other. In fact, Lana told Emma to find May if something happened. So they knew each other. That's for sure. There's one thing for sure I found out in that court today. That boy, Edgeworth, isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. Yeah, Mia. I'm very bad with names. I get them always mixed between May and Mia. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Ah, man. Every freaking character in this case that was very hateable at the beginning, they are starting to grow on me. Oh, I just noticed the picture you were talking about, Mikan. The police officer there. February 24th, police station, criminal affairs. This place was pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Yeah, that picture, yeah, it's quite something. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they are all in the conference room. Thanks. Whoa, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do. Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. There is more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we would like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can go in there, it's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Investigate it? It could be worth. A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. Okay, that's a good one. I was not expecting that one. Babes in uniform. I have such a stupid sense of humor. My calendar. Chief Office, here we go. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office. Very glorious. Whoa, where am I? In the Chief's Office Police. I mean, in the Chief's Office, silly. At least that's what it said out of the door. Out on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. Unexpectedly funny, yeah. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Huh. I don't trust you on that one. I thought I was a genius until they tried. I never could remember where she was. Oh, it's you too. Chief Gant. Put that paper. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Writer, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years ago. 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how times fly. I need some water, guys. 1 second. He looks like a villain. In a way he does, but he has more like of this final boss aura to him. I don't know what it is. More than a villain, he looks like a boss. Oh man. After reading so much, water feels so good. Because he's the chief of police. See that big picture on the wall over there. That picture of Lana, that's a picture of Lana, Neil and me. So this is Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. He's the chief, so he looks... Oh! That was... Now I get the joke he was making. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so slow. No. I'm so stupid. That was a good one, Lockhart. Now that I got the joke. I think I find it more funny because I didn't get it before, and now that I get it, I feel stupid about it. Oh god. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. Wait. What's... Okay, guys. So, there is a couple things on this picture that strike me as odd, okay? First, in the picture, we can see this base, which is this one. Second thing we can see in this picture is the price, this shit. The other thing that strikes me a little bit odd, I wish I could remove the text from here, because there is something on the background here that strikes me as odd a little bit. That strikes me a little bit odd. Also, this face especially is striking me as odd. Because it's the same of the case. This statue... Oh, look at this. Isn't this... No. It could be... So there was some... No, but that's that. Back off, fraud? What? That one thing that strikes me is how beautiful Lana looks. Come on. Even with her stern look. So, the base. That's one thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, we'll get the picture anyway, so I can look at it in a bit. That's good. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was the crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? The case has long since been over. There is no need to investigate anymore. All the same, we'd like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there is no need to investigate anymore. Now, hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. I want Phoenix Wright to present me on these fraud allegations. By the way, guys, the other day, I don't remember when it was. It has to have been a couple weeks ago. I was looking for something on a stream, and I listened back to myself in one of those. And sometimes I try to make voices and change my tone and stuff like that, and I felt like it sounded very flat, even though in my room, when I do the stuff, I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort into put emphasis and like talking louder or deeper here and there and trying to give like a little bit of dramatic reading to the stuff, but I don't know if you can actually hear what I'm doing, or if it's all coming flat all the time. Because for me, when I heard back to it sounded a little bit flat, but I was like, damn, when I was doing this, I thought I was putting a lot of effort and emphasis, and like, especially it was when during the Fun Karma case. But I don't know. I'm still going to try to put some effort into doing this kind of dramatic reading sometimes, but I don't know if it really comes true. What do you mean? Chief Gunn denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us to be looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Oh man. This is a hard one. Let's go back in. February 24th. Police station, criminal affairs. Go meet Gumshoe? Hey pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone's coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why would you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It is almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. It's because of what my sister said. That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Oh man. Yikes. Edgeworth crisis. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party in here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Goat you, that's a good one. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, there are really so many people who hate him. In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth was not only has that, but he's young. There is no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Richard, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You got to take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Richard? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. SL9 incident. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier, while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything out? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack, you mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. Oh dude, Gumshoe's... It's not the brightest candle, but he's a really good guy. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look. Look. It's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. I will show him the switchblade before talking with him about the last thing. Oh, I can't. Okay. Maybe if I check it? Can I move? No. Okay, it's fine. Dark's crimes. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. I couldn't. There's no percent button. There is only check. There is no percent. So I need to do that dialogue first, Black Lockhart. I cannot present it. There is no percent button. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. Hit with his car? So it was an accident. An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed... Oh. I cannot read it because it was talking fast. A jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. He seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily, Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. There could be an ad for some of you. Let me know if you got an ad. I don't want you to miss the story. Let's see, anyone got an ad? Doesn't look like. I'll continue then. AKA Emma. Can I present the switchblade now? Maybe need to do... Oh! That's what you meant before Black Lockhart, I see. About this. Hey, is that it has a tag attached to it, while the label with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife has been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. And I got an ad previously? Oh man. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, detective? Quick! Before you forget again. Murder weapon. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We trace it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone. That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, well, you see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the tip of the broken knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? It was inside Marshall's body. The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the staff gund. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. A stab in the back, died from a puncture, heart and lung. A knife tip was in the gund. The broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to the murderer, Joe Dark. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you should ask Chief Gant. No, it's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective ID can unlock the door. Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh man. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Oh man. We have not been here. Let's go there, I guess. Oh, nice. February 24th, Prosecutor's Office. Underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Mrs. Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on that day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead it looked like we just ended making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Let's start by examining here. I don't know. I'll just check one thing is if there is nothing new in dialogue wise. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there is no new dialogues. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can move somewhere else. I don't want to drag this any longer. Let's see if we can move. Okay. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He was short, quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? If I had to live past 2 years with rumors flying around, what's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Forge evidence. There is no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to. And nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility. As the prosecutor in charge, the fact remains the same, no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Tomorrow's trial. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? If I got a penny for every time... If Phoenix got a penny for every time someone throws away their paper when he enters, he would have 2 pennies. Which is not many, but it's weird it happened twice. If I had a penny for every time Phoenix takes a dig at Edgeworth, I could have many pennies. And that's more than what I have. It may not be that many, but it's more than what I have. First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you are getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can just walk out on the trial. I'm sorry. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I need some water. That's called bromance, Miles Edgeworth. It's called friendship. The most important value according to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? This list of evidence, it seems short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. Friendship is objective. That's odd. I don't think I get what you mean. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Oh man. Let me take a look at this again. So, something is strange about this. Let's try presenting it. And now I'll do it with that button. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gunn's office. It's the perspective of people who view the friendships. That's subjective then. Objective it's when it's fact. Subjective it's when it's personal. Is, for example, 2 plus 2 is 4. That's objective. I like hamburgers. That's subjective. Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor's trophy. That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the words base on. Huh. The day of the crime. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The the day that Detective Goodman was murdered. Objective in the sense friendships are mutual trust in each other. Some use that fact objectively. Yeah, I agree to that. For me, the most important pillar to any relationship is trust. According to Sherlock, I like spicy food. Spicy food is addictive. What? Wait. Oh crap. I'm sorry. I got confused by what Porvo was saying, and I pressed right click by mistake, and dialogue skipped when you press right click. But you were awarded this. Those receiving the awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That's it until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Stereotypes? Oh, contradiction is the same in the Japanese. Is the same in Japanese as Chinese. It's made of the characters of spear and shield. Oh, I see. I see. By the way, hi BJC, how you doing? You just joined right before we end. We have 10 minutes left, so we will be ending soon. A story of a merchant selling a spear that can pierce any shield. Oh yeah. And the shield that can stop anything. Yeah. I like spicy food, but my tolerance towards it is very low. I cannot eat spicy food. I'm missing an organ, so I cannot eat it. Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. Oh, you were lurking. I see. Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. Just don't want to spoil anything. Is all? Oh, I see. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because Chief asked you to. That's right. Isn't that a little bit fishy? Like the timing is a little bit too perfect. Miken is very spicy at Saturday night. Come on. Half knowing, have played through the case like years ago. What happens and when exactly isn't clear entirely. I see. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. Oh, here we go. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it so for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield. He claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyways, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Ooh. Immovable object versus stoppable force dilemma. Yes. I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize. Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it is in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if they result in something as even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. So apparently the fact they explain contradiction is one of the things I forgot. It's fine. 2 years ago, he had the Helbert part of the word abolish. Chief Gant. Oh man. Now this obviously is a clue for something. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him, I'll check it out. Hey Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gamshun out the window there? Oh, he's falling to the ground. Hold on, first let me see what this girl is doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. Oh man, I understand this feeling so well. I can empathize a lot with that. This week has literally killed me in many ways. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Miles being relatable for once? Yeah. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Man, oh man. Let's keep moving. February 24th, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. Excuse me? A star is here. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound roast of roast beef? Mrs. Starr, yes, she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. The amount of evidence you'd gather is astounding. Dude, we have almost 3 full pages of evidence. Only 2 slots left. That's so much. We have never had more than a page and a half. I still never thought you'd... Okay. Everyone in this trial was involved in SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day that evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mirror coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Mrs. Stark hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Guys, we have 4 minutes left on the stream. I think this is a good point to stop for today. So we're gonna save here. And before we end the stream, there is a few things to discuss. Number 1, if between today and tomorrow's stream I do not receive any request for a little bit of extra time to submit your dishes, I will be doing the cooking stream tomorrow where I show what you guys have submitted. Number 2, tomorrow is the birthday stream, so I hope you can all make it here. It will be fun to celebrate it together. I will be starting Code Vein tomorrow to take a little bit of a break from Phoenix Wright. We are going to continue with Phoenix Wright next week, but we are going to be alternating because this case has been going for way too long. We still have a lot of ground to cover, and I think we could use a little bit of a change of pace. I'm actually really hooked into the story. I'm really liking Phoenix Wright, but for the sake of the stream, I feel like it's better that we have a little bit of variety, because at this point I think I have streamed more Phoenix Wright than actually I have streamed Blue Archive. It's been a long time streaming Phoenix Wright, so just to add a little bit variety, we're going to be alternating between Code Vein and Phoenix Wright. And there was another thing that I wanted to say before I end the stream today, but I have completely forgotten. So I think that's gonna be it, because my memory is failing me now. So, guys, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This case has been a blast, but it's time for me to go. So, thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow to celebrate my birthday and start Code Vein. Have a good rest of your day or night. Bye bye.